Most people think therapists listen for what is being said, and they do. But experienced therapists are often paying just as much attention to when things are said. The timing can be surprisingly important. Imagine a client spends 20 minutes talking about work, deadlines, stress, colleagues, meetings, and then, right as they're about to move on, they casually say, "My dad used to treat me the same way," and then immediately change the subject. An experienced therapist notices, not because of the words themselves, but because of when they appeared. Sometimes the most important part of a session isn't the thing someone spends 20 minutes talking about. It's the sentence they mention for 3 seconds before moving away from it. Therapists often pay attention to moments like these. What appeared suddenly? What arrived just before the topic changed? What showed up right before the silence? What happened immediately before the laughter? Or immediately after the tears? Because emotional meaning often reveals itself through timing. A client might say, "It doesn't really bother me," and then spend the next 15 minutes talking about it. The therapist notices, not because the client is being dishonest, but because something important may be happening beneath the surface. Sometimes people minimize things that matter deeply. Sometimes they joke right before touching a painful memory. Sometimes they become confused right before reaching an important insight. And sometimes they change the subject just as a meaningful feeling begins to emerge. Therapists learn that moments don't happen in isolation. They happen in sequence, and the sequence tells a story. One question leads to hesitation. The hesitation leads to a memory. The memory leads to emotion. The emotion leads to understanding. When therapists pay attention to timing, they're often asking themselves, why now? Why this moment? Why not 5 minutes ago? Why not later? What just happened that made this appear? The goal isn't to analyze every word. The goal is to stay curious about the flow of the conversation. Because sometimes the most important thing in therapy isn't what was said. It's the exact moment it appeared. And that moment can change everything. In the next video, we explore why good therapists watch for what's missing. I'll see you there.